How's it going, guys? My name is the Fallen Sanctum, and today we're here with a very special guest right off the win at the PPG 3-box webcam tournament. Zuhair?
Yep.
Playing Blue Omni Turbo, and so we're going to go over the deck profile, and we're going to go over some matchups and a bit of advice that he can give you guys. Yeah. Look at the t-shirt. It's spoiler alert. That's the best card in the game.
Yep.
Alright, so go ahead, Zuhair.
Okay, so starting with the level 2s, we had our lineup of 4 Upamon, 1 Wanyamon. This is just like the best lineup for this kind of deck. If you're playing anything else, you're wrong, you're bad. This card, generally, it's kind of useless, but it actually came up one time in the PPG tournament, and it came up pretty big. I think I had a Plesiomon where with this under it, and I was able to swing over my opponent's Plesiomon with my own because of this card, which was kind of cool. But other than that, it's kind of whatever. So that's the level 2s. And then moving on to the rookies of the deck, I played 3 Elecmon, pretty standard. I played 6 2-drops in total. Felt like it was a good number. These are a really good way of actually spamming these to end the game once you get your opponent low on security. People ask me why I played 3-3 instead of 4 Elecmon and 2 Gomon, because you also play these 4 Gomons. So you can kind of have a lot of Gomon targets this way. You kind of ideally want to cut it down so that if you get Omnimon, you don't lose like all your Gomons. But my reasoning of running 3-3 here is because I usually never have this Gomon out on the board by itself. I always try to evolve these guys as soon as possible because if they get deleted by anything, then I'll get the value of the +1 memory. Another really good use of this +1 memory Gomon is to evolve it into either a blocker, so that when you block, you can you'll gain +1 memory if it dies. But also, you can evolve it for 1 into Gorillamon, and you can actually start aggroing people with Gorillamon, because if it does die to security, you'll gain your +1 memory back that you used to evolve into it anyways. So you netted 1 damage and 1 card. 1 damage and 0 memory, because you'll get the memory back, and an extra draw from the Digivolution itself. So my rookie lineup is these guys, and then also for Gabumon, I almost don't even want to put this one on the board because it's ugly. Let's hide it under all of those. And then this card is also, this is actually, in my opinion, the best rookie to have in your Metal Garurumon stack, because when it plays it out, you'll draw a card. You'll get the on-play effect, and it's also a very good way of just having a turn 1 play. If you kind of bricked, this will help you cycle through cards to help you find your pieces. So the total was 14 rookies. I played 14 rookies. I felt like that was a good number. That's that. And then we'll go into the level 4s, where I played 4 Gorillamon. Pretty standard. I think every Omnimon Turbo deck in existence plays 4 of these. It's a 1-cost evolve, 6,000 DP, so it's good for turboing up into your higher stage Digimon, or it's also very good to aggro with, because it's a very cheap cost to evolve, so you don't lose too much, and it's also a pretty high DP for how cheap it is. So a lot of times he'll swing and he'll actually just survive because you'll hit a rookie or something like that. And if you have a Gomamon under it, like I said, and he dies, you haven't really lost anything other than board state, but it's always okay to trade 1 damage for something as cheap as a 1-cost Gorillamon. So yeah, this card is very good, absolutely necessary in this deck. The next level 4 I played is obviously 4 Grizzlymon blockers. I think everybody plays 4 blockers, especially in a deck like this, that you can reanimate him with Metal Garurumon if necessary. Not much to say about it, really. It's just you need blockers. It's the only form of counterplay, quote-unquote counterplay, that this game has. And then the last level 4 is 3 Gurumons, which is also pretty standard. I think most people who play Omnimon Turbo play 3 Gurumon. Some people play Leomon, and as much as that card seems to be good on paper, I don't think it's that great. I think the spot is much more deserved for this Gurumon. Because if you get the perfect metal Gurumon stack where you have a Gurumon under it, and then you swing metal, bring Gurumon out, restand, swing again, and then play the rookie out, not only did you just do 2 damage, you widened your board, you've got max value out of your metal Gurumon. The card is just very good. And also, this card is also very good against green when they try to Puppetmon stun you, because the green doesn't have a good way of getting rid of your Omnimons. So what a lot of usually what they do is once you swing with your Omnimon, it'll be in rest mode, and then start spamming Puppetmon so that it just never untaps and it just gets stunned. And a good way of playing around that, they'll Puppetmon you and usually give you anywhere between 7, 8, 9, 10 memory to work with, and you can just hardcast this, stand your Omnimon, and you can start going haywire from there. I think that's the last of the level 4s, and then next up we have level 5s. Pretty standard again. We played 4 Monzemons. It's a very cheap level 5 to hardcast. It only costs 5 to hardcast and only 2 to digivolve into, which is the cheapest form of evolving into level 5. So when you hardcast this, a lot of times it's also still very scary, because as long as you have a level 5 on board, you're already threatening an Omnimon play. Because even if you're being choked at 1, you can Hammer Spark to 2, evolve this into a Plesiomon, and then go into Omnimon from there. So yes, absolutely necessary in the times where you need to turbo up into Omnimon. The next level 5 is actually where my list starts deviating from other people's. So for the PPG tournament, I actually only played 2 Zudomons, but I've made a change, and I've actually gone up to 3 Zudomons, because I think this card is so good. It's extremely good in the mirror match, especially when you're going first, because it's another thing where you can hardcast this, you can draw 2 cards, and then with this on board, you're already threatening an Omnimon play again, because you have a level 5 out on board, and if they spend memory to get rid of it, there's nothing that gets rid of this card that costs less than 7 memory, so you will always get the full value of this card. And if it survives, it also has a very good inheritable effect, which says if your opponent has a Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play when you're attacking, and it's not once per turn. So if you have this in your stack with Metal Gurumon on top, and then you swing with Metal Gurumon, bring out a Gurumon, restand your Metal Gurumon, and swing again, you've gained 2 memory, meaning your Metal Gurumon evolution costs you 1, which is absolutely snap and half broken for the fact that you're widening your board and also being aggressive at the same time. And it also, again, helps with Brick Hand. If you open very bricky, this will always help with that if you can hardcast it turn 1. Next level 5 I have is 2 Rare Gurumons. So again, for the PPG tournament, I was playing 3 of these, and I was playing 2 of these. So I actually cut a Rare Gurumon for the 3rd Zudomon. Reason being is I actually don't like this one that much, because if you open it in your opening hand, it's kind of weird to evolve into, because it's 3 cost. It's kind of expensive early on in the game. Hardcasting it does nothing for you, and even if you have this in your stack going up into Metal Gurumon, it's honestly very scary to even have this ability on your Metal Gurumon. If you swing for security +1 with Metal Gurumon, restand, and swing again for a total of 4 damage, it's very highly likely that your Metal Gurumon will die somewhere in that process of doing that much damage, because Metal Gurumon is an 11k mega, so it crashes into a lot of other megas that are also 11k. So if you're swinging and you're swinging for 4 security damage in total, it's very naive to think that you'll clear 4 security and still have a Metal Gurumon that's alive by the end of that. I can almost guarantee you 95% of the game team will die somewhere along those 4 checks, and you don't want that to happen. The only times I really like this card is when I digivolve him into Plesiomon, because Plesiomon has a high base DP, and he can start swinging just for like security plus ones, it's very threatening. And obviously, if you have him under Omnimon, once you get there, it's also very threatening. But I feel like if you go into Omnimon and you start getting the swings off, if you get the swing, restand, swing, you should win the game from there, like regardless of whether you have a security attack plus one under him, because it's such a power play. It does 2 damage. It forces your opponent to find a way to deal with such a big body that the resources they spend trying to get rid of it, you usually just like win from pure advantage from there. And then going into my level 6s, I have 4 Plesiomons. This is an absolute staple at 4 for a deck like this. If you're playing any less than 4, you know what they say, you're bad. Because this is the easiest catalyst that enables you to be choked at 1, but still have an Omnimon play available to you if you have a level 5 on the board, because you can go very popular play of going from being choked at 1, Hammer Spark to 2, evolve into Plesiomon, swing if you want, and then evolve into Omnimon after. And all from just being choked at 1. This guy is what enables that. He's also very high base DP, 12k, so in the security, he's a, I don't know if I can swear, but he's an effing monster in the security. 12k gets rid of, I think, yeah, it gets rid of every single other mega in the game. So he's just very, very good. And then the next card, which I think is the most broken card in the game currently, more so than Omnimon, to be honest, is Melgarurumon, because it does everything, man. It allows you to be aggressive while also building your board at the same time, and then they also have to deal with the Melgarurumon threat and the ability that lets you go into Omnimon after that. So even if you don't go into Omnimon after his swings, he's still there threatening an Omnimon play. So I've said many times that if you have the perfect Melgarurumon stack, which involves having a Garurumon under him, and you swing, play out the Garurumon, restand him, swing again, play out the rookie. If you get that play off successfully and your Metal Garurumon is still alive by the end of that, you should just win the game from there because of just the sheer amount of value this card brings. And honestly, just abusing this card is how I was able to win the tournament. I'm not even gonna try to pretend otherwise. And then the last mega I have here is a Volcanic Dramon. It's just a tech option because Omnimon doesn't deal very well with wide boards like Rookie Rush and stuff. It deals well with tall boards when people digivolve up to like high level Digimon. Omnimon is good for that, but when you don't have that, you have Volcanic Dramon to deal with boards that go wide, and it's also very good at just being a threat on its own because it's got security attack +1, and it also is another catalyst that allows you to go into Omnimon if necessary. And then I have, obviously, I played 3 Omnimon. I thought 3 is the correct number. I feel like 4 is too cloggy. And I think if you use your Omnimons intelligently, you won't need more than 3. I see a lot of people actually making the mistake of just like literally rushing into Omnimon just because they can. But a lot of situations, just because you can go into Omnimon, it doesn't mean you should. You need to be able to use your Omnimons very intelligently. And if you do, 3 is perfectly fine. I actually have another tech card in my deck as the substitute for the 4th Omnimon, and we will get to that in a bit. Next card is 4 Hammer Spark, very standard. You have to play this card at 4. If you play any less than 4 in your blue Omni Turbo deck, you're bad. This card enables so many plays, and also if it's in the security and your opponent hits it, it's so much value. A lot of times, you'll choke your opponent at 1, they'll swing with whatever, and hit a Hammer Spark, and suddenly it's your turn again, and it can change the entire pace of the game. It can ruin what your opponents had planned for their turn. It's just very, very good. It's the main reason I chose to play blue over red for Omnimon deck. And then my last card is my one of tech card that I played in place of the 4th Omnimon, and that's Kaitis Breath. I think this card at 1 as a tech card has been so amazing to me in every tournament I've played. It goes really well with Millenniumon because it doesn't trigger his on deletion effect. It deals very well with like various threats. Sometimes you'll have, especially in the Omnimon mirror matches, like you might have your Omnimon get Omnimon or something like that, and then you'll be like, oh man, like I don't have a good board state right now. But you can just bounce the Omnimon if you need to. I try not to use it on Omnimon a lot because I don't like to allow people to recycle their Omnimons. But sometimes if you can force them to do the play where they go Hammer Spark to 2, go Plesiomon to 0, and then play Omnimon for 6, putting you at 6, this card gets rid of the Omnimon and chokes them 1 at the same time, which is absolutely priceless in the mirror match. And having this in your security, I can't even begin to tell you how good that is. Every time it pops up in my security, which is surprisingly more than you would think as a one of, like, it happened fairly often throughout the tournament. And the fact that you can choose which target to hit with this is always really, really good because it feels really bad when your opponent swings at you with like a rookie, 3000 rookie or something like that, and hits like your Omnimon in security because usually if you have an Omnimon in security, you'd ideally want it to be hitting like your opponent's megas or their big guys. But this card, if they hit with a rookie, you can choose the target. So if they still haven't swung with like one of their megas, and then they hit this with a rookie, boom, you bounce their mega, and they suddenly don't know what to do with their turn anymore. And that is my list. My updated list, actually.
Sounds good. All right. Awesome. So I had a few questions for people looking to get as good as you, Mr. King of Digimon, right, Zuhair? Is that the new title?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So
I like Digimon Emperor as the title.
Yeah, the Digimon Emperor. Okay, sounds good. So that'll be the title. You know, the Digimon Emperor.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. All right. So for players that are starting the game or are looking to get a little more competitive, what kind of advice do you have for players that aren't as good at the game as you are?
The only advice I can really give to people or like new players is just play the game, man. Play the game a lot and never blame mistakes or game. No, don't blame losses on RNG because you don't learn anything from a game if you just chalk it up to RNG. You gotta look at your games and try to find out why you lost, what made you lose, what was the turning point in the game, what was the incorrect play you made that allowed your opponent to capitalize, all that kind of stuff. Because I know a lot of people actually say that this game is heavily based on RNG, but just look at the results. I've been dominating the 1.0 meta, and it's not because the game's RNG, obviously. It's because there is a heavy, it's heavily skill-based, to be honest. Like, a lot more than people give it credit for. Managing numbers, a lot of that stuff comes into play. But yeah, any new players who are trying to like become competitive, I would just say don't net deck. First of all, net deck because there's players out there who know the game better than you and they've already figured out ratios and all that. Just take a net deck. Net deck my deck for all I care and just play with it and try to figure out why when you lose, why you lost, rather than just being like, oh, I lost because he got lucky and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I can tell to new players.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. We're getting close to the 20-minute mark. We got the locals soon starting, and you still have some things to do before. So I want to thank you for coming, Mr. Digimon Emperor.
Yes, sir.
And I look forward to seeing your tops in 1.5. Hopefully it won't just be Omni, right? You know, there's gonna be some secret spices along the way, right?
Yep.
Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on this video, and again, special thanks to Zuhair, the Digimon Emperor, for showcasing how he clapped some noobs at the PPG Open.
That's right.
Sounds good. Alrighty. Well, on that note, we're gonna end the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys like videos like these, whenever Zuhair does top, I will get a secret interview with him, one of the first people to, and we will definitely have a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. All right. You guys take care. Thanks, Zuhair.
All right, thank you.
I have to stop the recording.